as I think about PIX Global over the past 6 months and our activity with them, they're developing something really unique, and it's a pleasure to be interviewing Zach this afternoon.
Thanks, JJ. Pleasure to be here.
So PIX Global, it's developing a supply chain management protocol. How did you get into this?
Well, it's a long journey with most of these things, but it started when I was in New York and I was working for a big financial services company that wanted to be the world's most trusted company. And what I realized in doing that work is that transparency was going to be a key to that. Unfortunately, the organization was not ready for transparency. And as I think many of us are, the data ecosystems that support us are challenging. But I've been on that journey in various companies that I've been in the technology sector ever since, and I've had the opportunity recently to work on something called the UN Transparency Protocol.
The UN Transparency Protocol. We've heard a lot about the UNTP in the past 6 months. Give me some examples. What is it? Give everyone a sense of to understand.
Well, I'm going to start with what it isn't. So when most folks get up on the stage and talk about transparency and scale and things like that, they're probably talking about blockchain. We're not talking about blockchain. We're talking about protocols. And the analogy I like to use is telephones. So I might be on Telstra, JJ might be on Optus. We can still call each other because there's a protocol that exists between the different carriers. We can call internationally because there's a protocol between Australia and global players. And that idea of a protocol means that we can exchange information seamlessly without all being on the same system. And that's what the UN Transparency Protocol is all about. It's about building that protocol for the exchange of data between buyers and suppliers in a consistent and simplified way.
And so my thoughts here are that flows through in what we call the digital passport. Digital product passport. Give us a sense of what that is.
Yeah, so a digital product passport is that main carrier of information. And the key insight that we had as we were developing the protocol is that suppliers are already sharing information with their buyers. At a minimum, you're sharing an invoice because you want to get paid. But beyond that, you often will share the consignment information. You'll share the product features. And so a digital product passport is a consistent way, following the UN Transparency Protocol, to share that information from supplier to buyer to make it easier to provide high quality information about the products you're selling. It's how you can prove the high quality work that you're doing.
Excellent. And so Patrick's mentioned around the Australian market in general and in specific reference to beef. Can you give me a sense of the types of things in the domestic market you're thinking about as to where Australia is, and what do you think that means from value perspective for sectors?
Yeah, so as the name UN Transparency Protocol describes, it's not just the Australian agriculture sector that we're working in. We're working in critical minerals, we're working in the building sector, we're working in so mining, agriculture, building are some of the other sectors. But the exciting thing is that in Australia, the Australian agriculture sector is actually leading the globe in this. And we're leading, I think, in a couple of key ways. The first way is really around Australia's clean, green, natural advantage in the global marketplace. Not only are we strong environmentally, people can complain about various things, but we're probably top 5 or 6 in the world in terms of environmental credentialing, but also our social credentialing and our governance credentialing are very strong. So we have a natural comparative advantage as the globe is looking for higher quality information about the products that they're consuming. The second advantage we have is as a result of the DAF Traceability Uplift program and that strategy and the sets of grants that we've been able to be involved in. So there are 8 projects across the agriculture sector in beef, in horticulture, in wine, in grains, that are all sort of using the UNTP as a model for exchanging information so that we can get high quality information independent of sector. And so if you're a mixed farmer, you don't want to have to comply with 8 different standards. You want a single approach for the information so you can get the value of your high quality work.
So this isn't about consumers sitting in a restaurant saying, I want to know where the steak comes from. This is more, I guess, market access based in nature.
I would say there's 2 drivers. particularly in the short term. I think longer term, we might get to the point where it's a consumer making that purchase decision in the supermarket. But I think in the short term, it's compliance and corporate due diligence around sustainability. So how do we make it easier for our customers to meet their compliance and due diligence needs? The big retailers have ESG reporting they need to do. If our data can input into that easily and seamlessly with a standardized approach of information sharing, that's really powerful. And then the second place is that market access. So how do we make sure that our products have preferential access into global marketplaces? And importantly, one of the projects we did with the wine industry is how do we attach that to the existing labeling? So that if we do have a market disruption, we can redirect our products without having to recall them and put new labels on them. And so that's a big part of the protocol, is going from the barcode or on the label to the information you need to access that market.
Amazing. Now, I guess lastly, as you think about the next couple of years,
Yep.
Just give me a sense of what your priorities are for the organisation.
So we've been doing this for about 18 months. In 2023, it was all about, did the protocol have traction in the global marketplace? And 2024 has been all about demonstrating in various industries the priority and how it works. And so what we've achieved in this year is significant projects in mining, in market access for natural gas from Canada into the US, in customs clearing, and in the building sector. And going in over the next 2 years, what we're looking to do is solidify that lead I articulated for Australian growers to be the leading implementers of the protocol, so that the advantage that of the high quality work that you guys are all doing is realized in this marketplace, so that we can help growers make more money for the work they're doing already.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Zach. Thanks all. Cheers.
Thanks, JJ.